Hello, I'm Steve Saul. Welcome to North West Today. The headlines this Thursday lunchtime. Nearly 100 prison officers have walked out of Liverpool Jail over concerns for their safety. Jeremy Corbyn calls on North West Labour MPs who've left the party to resign and fight an election. And take a seat. Chairs from the auditorium of London's Theatre Royal Drury Lane have been donated to New Mills Arts Theatre. Nearly 100 prison officers have walked out of Liverpool Jail in a dispute over safety. It follows the sacking of a prison officer who carried out what's called a preemptive strike against an inmate. Well, our Merseyside reporter Andy Gill is at the prison for us this lunchtime. Andy, how did this walkout begin?
Well, Steve, this relates to an incident about 12 months ago when a prison officer here used the preemptive strike against a prisoner by whom he felt threatened. The preemptive strike might be a hit, it might be a push. Under the rules, prison officers are allowed to do that so long as they feel they are being threatened and the force is proportionate. There's been a disciplinary hearing. The panel met yesterday and the officer was dismissed. The people who work here came in this morning in the wake of that ruling, had a meeting, and they decided that that ruling makes them feel unsafe. They want assurances that they can still use these preemptive strikes if they feel it's necessary.
As long as a preemptive strike is considered to be reasonable, justifiable and proportionate in the circumstances, a prison officer can make a preemptive strike. If that facility is taken away from prison officers, they have very little to protect themselves.
And Andy, what's been the response of the prison authorities to this?
Well, the Ministry of Justice have put out a statement saying this is irresponsible and unlawful and puts staff and prisoners at risk, though they do say the prison is secure. Now, the Ministry of Justice are seeking a High Court injunction to stop this, and there's an emergency hearing at the Royal Courts of Justice in about half an hour's time to hear this. It relates to a dispute in 2017 when the Ministry of Justice got a ruling that gathering in a place of safety was in fact industrial action when the prison officers said it wasn't. You probably see behind me there's another meeting. I think a prison officers association official is going to update them on what the latest news is. The Ministry of Justice also say that in this particular case they feel the officer used force that was wildly disproportionate. So far as the prison itself goes, governors from here and other jails are running it. They're the ones giving the prisoners the medication and their meals.
OK, Andy, thanks very much indeed. We'll have more on that tonight at 6:30 here on BBC One and on Radio Merseyside throughout the afternoon. Now, Jeremy Corbyn's called on Liverpool MP Luciana Berger and Stockport's Anne Coffey to resign and put themselves up for election. Now, the pair quit Labour to join the Independence group. Now, in a Twitter video, the leader said it was the democratic thing to do. Well, our political editor, Nina Warhurst, is with me now. Nina, any response from the MPs?
Well, they're not going anywhere, Steve. I've heard from Anne Coffey in the last hour. She said, I have represented this seat for 27 years. My values haven't changed. I stood for re-election on those values, and I've had an overwhelmingly positive response from people in Stockport. This group was given a big boost yesterday when 3 Conservatives joined them, of course. And then one Labour MP that I've spoken to this morning says he's heard whispers at Westminster of 12 more Labour MPs joining them before the week is out. Now, political analysts, of course, are having an absolute field day on this one. But the one thing that they're all agreed on is that this group of rebels needs to build on this momentum now, needs to grab more members while it can, if this is going to be meaningful.
The challenge maybe is to become bigger than the SNP, who are currently on 36 or 35 MPs. If they could get their numbers up to the mid-30s, they would then actually be the 3rd biggest grouping in Parliament. That would give them a degree of status, a degree of authority, maybe certain positions they could access, and it would give them a bigger platform.
Now, yesterday we learned that this man, Derek Hatton, had been resuspended from the Labour Party after 48 hours. Any response from Labour about that?
Well, it was a big day on Monday when he was readmitted into the party, and we saw on North West Tonight that Roger pushed him 5 times to condemn the anti-Semitism that's been happening on Merseyside, and he flatly refused to. It then emerged yesterday that he'd sent a tweet in 2012 that was anti-Semitic, and the NEC, that's the governing body for the Labour Party, said they were going to put a halt on his readmission to the party. I said to the Labour Party this morning, what's going on? You confirmed on Monday that it was allowed in. Now you're saying he was never fully allowed in. They said, oh, it's a proceedings matter. what it does is make the party look really silly, and I've struggled this morning to find a Labour MP to defend that. And Louise Ellman, the MP for Liverpool Riverside, has said to me the fact that he was allowed back in on the day that an MP left over anti-Semitism was symbolic, and the fact that he's been pushed out 2 days later once again exposes the failings of Labour and investigatory proceedings.
OK, Nina, thanks very much indeed. Now, 5 men have appeared in court accused of running a cross-border drug operation between Merseyside and the Isle of Man. They were arrested as part of a joint police operation earlier this week. It's in relation to more than £500,000 worth of cannabis found hidden in cars over the last year. A mountain rescue team from Cumbria needed support from armed police during the rescue of 4 men who were camping at Grisdale Forest at the weekend. One of the men had a bad reaction to a drug that had passed out. A 20-year-old from Manchester was checked by paramedics and cautioned for possessing a Class A drug. Now, theatregoers in New Mills will soon have a comfier experience after their local venue received new chairs from Andrew Lloyd Webber's famous Theatre Royal Drury Lane. Now, the seating's part of a volunteer-led restoration at New Mills Art Theatre, which is hoped will revitalise the ageing building. Kevin Fitzpatrick reports.
Being delivered in their hundreds to cushion the derrieres of those enjoying the theatre. The seats have been removed from the West End and they're now set to transform the community-run New Mills Art Theatre.
We're very lucky that Theatre Royal Drury Lane in London donated their gold seats as part of their own restoration work. And we put a bid in and hooray.
And now you've had all your seats ripped out in preparation?
Yes, all our seats have been ripped out in preparation so that the new gold seats can come in place. We're going to have a new floor. And we're going to have new carpet put in place.
The last full refurb of the theatre was in 1959 and the seats put in then were already second-hand.
Here's the bases.
Nice and comfy.
Nice colour.
And how do these compare to your old ones?
Our old ones are approximately 85 years old. These are quite significantly newer. These are only about 9 years old. A lot more comfortable, a lot more padding on there. And they've got a slightly different design back as well.
There's now just 10 weeks for volunteers to redecorate the theatre and fit all of the new chairs. So these are 2 of the chairs we've set up. What do you think?
Super comfy.
And how are you going to feel, do you think, sat in these chairs all over here when the stage is set?
I'm going to be pretty proud. I'm overwhelmed by the fact that we've managed to do this, and equally bringing a bit of West End comfort to New Mills.
Very good. Kevin Fitzpatrick, BBC North West Today, New Mills.
Cushy job for Kevin. Now, congratulations to the Manchester band, the 1975 big winners at last night's Brits, picking up Best Band and Album of the Year. Lead singer Matty Healy used his acceptance speech to call for better treatment of women in the music industry. Right, time now for the weather. Here's Alex Hamilton.
Good afternoon. Well, it looks as though we're sticking with the settled weather as high pressure stays in charge for the next few days, and that means we'll continue to drag that mild air up from the southwest. So looking at the detail over the course of this afternoon, we'll continue to see the cloud thinning and breaking. There will be some decent spells of sunshine, particularly to the south of the region, and highs of around 15 degrees Celsius. Then tonight, slowly the cloud will move away for a time, leaving some clear spells. Then a little bit of mist and fog may develop. You can expect lows of around 3 degrees Celsius. As for tomorrow, a little bit cloudy in the morning, but that cloud will burn away over the afternoon, leaving some bright sunshine and highs of around 16 degrees Celsius, leaving you with the outlook. It looks sunny and mild for the next few days.
That's it from me this lunchtime. Stuart Flinders and Annabelle Tiffin are back here at 6:30 tonight with North West Tonight, chatting to Steve Bland, husband of Rachel Bland, whose memoirs following her death from cancer have been published today. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.